Kajan Crack, welcome back. It's Miss Dan, and I told you in one of my last videos, I forget all the episode numbers. This might be 10, but the text will be there. It will be right. I might not be. But just, we're here doing Beginners Ulster Irish, where I decided, you know what, I'm going to take some of my stuff to put on TikTok and put it as an audio lesson, as an extra bit of supplemental learning for people. My whole goal is to make Irish more accessible to people. One of the roadblocks for people learning a language such like Irish, even though it's already a really hard language to learn, is that cost. So there are lots of free resources out there. I've linked them all in my link tree. You can find that on all of my social medias. It'll say linktr.ee, and then have my couple of fuckle Dan link there, where you can see all the different free and paid for resources that I put up. Anytime I find a new one, I try and update that as well. But some of the lists there, some of them are lists from other websites. So some of the links don't work anymore, but there's a lot of really, really good stuff on there. So I make sure if you're learning to have a wee look. Some of my favourite things to learn, by the way, are Speaking Irish podcast on YouTube and on Spotify, and that is one of those things that I actually use to start learning. I haven't actually got very far through it myself because I'm doing a lot of stuff online and I'm doing a lot of classes, but I do like to go back and have a listen to an episode or two and then move on whenever I can. It's very conversational based, so it's doing the exact same thing. You're not really worried about grammar, but you're learning a lot more stuff in there that's a little bit more advanced, and you're not always getting the reason. You're not always getting the reason why, but that is mostly because it is there to help get you conversational. Whereas I just want to be a supplemental learning to the learning that you're already doing in your books or in your classroom. So just to hear somebody else's voice say the things out loud, and they give you an excuse to put it on your car or while you're doing some housework or whatever, because the other guy says, don't do this. don't be feeding your dishes or washing your crocodile. So I'm happy enough with you being busy when you're listening to me, because with him you're learning it for the very first time. With me, you're most likely not. So let's get to it. So in the last episode, we looked at Cárb, which is where you're from. Cárb. It says Belfast, you I'm from Belfast. Oh, because to hen, Cárb. We're Cárb hen. Where are you from yourself? Ah, it's Derry, from Derry. This is Derry, from Derry. So if that's still certain familiar to you, fantastic. If not, this is my method for learning during these audiobooks, is to make sure that you go all the way back to the first episode, listen to 2 or 3, and then the next time you're coming back to learn, cut out 1 or 2 that you know you don't need anymore. And I will have those recap videos every so often to cover off some of the stuff that we've done. So if you land on one of those, you listen and you hear something you don't know, you know you're in trouble. You need to go back. So, this video, we're going to look at Cahil tú in a honey, and that is, where are you living? Cahil tú in a honey. What's the difference? Carbastú is where you're from. A lot of people, when they're asked where you're from, will answer the same question. Born and raised in Belfast, born and bred. I'm from and I'm living in Belfast. I haven't moved to a different city. So, but that's not the same for everybody. Maybe you were living out in the middle of nowhere and you had to move to the Big Smoke for work, or vice versa. You were living in the Big Smoke and you said, you know what, I'm going to move for a more peaceful life, or you've moved abroad for a better lifestyle or whatever it may be. So, Carbastú, where are you from? Cahil tú in a honey, where are you living? And it's sort of like, where are you in your living right now? Where are you currently living? So, Cowell to Illinois, and my answer is Tame and Mahoney in Mel first. Tame and Mahoney in Mel first. I said that really fast, so we're going to slow it down. So, Tame, M-O, Honey, and Mel first. Tammy and Mahoney and Mel first. Tammy and Mahoney and Mel first. And I said it really fast, going to sound like Tammy and Mahoney and Mel first. Yeah, Tammy and Mahoney and Mel first. Probably one of the only things that I ever remembered from doing Irish years and years and years and years ago. Tammy and Mahoney and Mel first. Now, I had to change at Belfast to Mel first from Bell first, and that's due to a little grammar rule. Because there's an I there, and because of the type of vowel that it is, then we have to do something to the word to change the sound. But I've no words on the screen right now. So even if you are watching me on your phone through Spotify or whatever platform it may be, like we're not here to drill down on grammar. So I'm just going to tell you what the answers are here, and I'm not going to spend too much time explaining. But there will be a point in your learning where you will have to learn about your roos and shavus, and that is just about putting H's and it changes the sound, or putting letters in front of a word which is going to change the sound. And the best way to learn them is with locations. So the sooner that you can learn how to ask somebody where you're from or where you're living, and then start looking up online for different place names as well and adding those in, the better. So the two that I'm giving you, so Calwell 2 at a honey, Calwell 2 at the honey, said after me, Calwell 2 at a honey. Fantastic. Tame and Mahoney and Mel first. Tammy and Mahoney and Mel first. And the second one, Tammy and Mahoney and Nira. Tammy and Mahoney and Nira. Tammy and Mahoney and Nira. Fantastic. Tammy and Mahoney and Nira. Tammy and Mahoney and Nira. Perfect. And that is, I'm living in Derry. So, I'm going to leave that for there for now. Pretty long episode. Lots of waffle at the start. But make sure you practice those. Add them into your conversations. We will be doing a recap at some point, and we will cover that off. Where I'm going to ask you where you're from. And whenever I ask the question, I want you to tell me your answer back. I'm going to tell you it's fantastic. So do your best to figure out where it is that you're living. And there's a website called loganium.ie or something very close to that, LO something. And it will give you the sound. So if you look up our Irish place name finder and look for that website, then that will help you in that quest. So that's us for now. Thanks as always. Stand for now.